morning, students. Today, I will explain you about the 8051 interrupts concept and 8051 interrupt programming. So, coming to the interrupt, an interrupt is an external or internal event that interrupts the microcontroller to inform that a device needs its services. So, that means when the microcontroller is doing a normal operation, so when the microcontroller is doing the normal operation, so what happens? Uh, you can get an interrupt. So you can get the interrupt through the external hardware component or internal device. So that the microcontroller, what it should do, it will suspend the uh, current operation and it will serve that interrupt. So there are two types to serve the devices. One is interrupt method and next one is polling method. So interrupt method means upon receiving an interrupt signal, the microcontroller interrupts whatever it is doing and service the devices. So as I told you, so any interrupts you are getting, so whatever maybe the microcontroller is doing, it will suspend its operation and it will service that device. And program which is associated with that interrupt, we call that as a interrupt service routine, ISR. So we call that as a interrupt service routine. So interrupts, whenever any device needs its service, the device notifies the microcontroller by sending an interrupt. Suppose, for example, like keyboard need a service. So what it will do, keyboard will send a signal to the microcontroller for serving that interrupt. So it will send the signal. So upon receiving the interrupt signal, microcontroller interrupts whatever it is doing and serve that device. So whatever the microcontroller is doing, the main program, whatever the microcontroller is doing, it suspends that operation and it will serve the keyboard interrupt. So that is and program which we are doing with the interrupt, we call that as a we call that subroutine or interrupt service routine. That is a sub program. So we are doing that is interrupt service routine. And next one is polling method. So polling method means microcontroller continuously monitor the status of given device. So that means there are some 10 devices are there. So every time microcontroller will monitor the status of the device. Is any device is raising an interrupt or not? Okay. So when condition is met, so when any device want any interrupt service, so what happens? It will perform that service. After it will go to the next device. So after that, it moves to the monitor. So every time it will monitor for the next device until everyone is served. So that means every time it will serve each and every device. So like that, that is nothing but polling technique. So polling method we can see in one of the concept, that is a timer. In timer programming, you keep on monitoring the timer overflow flag bit, no? So that is nothing but we call that as a polling method. So this is the program execution without interrupts. So this is the main program, and this is a program execution with interrupts. So that means so when you are calling a subroutine, that means when you are doing main program, so any interrupt occurs, what happens? It will go to the ISR, interrupt service subroutine. After performing this ISR, again it will come to the main program. So like that, it will step from main program to the ISR. So this is nothing but interrupt service routine. So steps in execution and interrupt is to finish the current instruction and save the PC on the stack. So what it will do, any interrupt occurs. So PC is nothing but program counter, which will point to the address of the next instruction. So the PC address of the next instruction, which will be saved in the stack. Okay. So when it will be saved in the stack, uh, after saving into the stack, jump to the fixed location in the memory depending on the interrupt. So it will jump to some other fixed location depending on type of interrupt. Okay. So that means suppose some 5 types of interrupts are there. So you want the interrupt address. So interrupt address is available in interrupt vector table. So it will jump into interrupt vector table. From that interrupt address is available. So it will take the microcontroller will so go to that means whatever the interrupt vector address is there, that will be loaded into the program counter. So from that address it will start executing. So it starts to execute interrupt service routine. So that is interrupt service routine. It will go to into that address that we call as a interrupt service routine until RETA return for this is nothing but RET is nothing but when you are calling a subroutine after completing the subroutine subprogram, there will be RET. Here when you are it will go into interrupt service routine. No? So it is going to interrupt service routine. After completing interrupt service routine, there will be RETA. So this is nothing but return from the interrupt. Upon executing RETI, what happens? Microcontroller return to the place where it is interrupted. So whatever the PC which is pushed into the stack, that will be popped from the stack. Okay. So when return instruction is executed, so that will be popped from the stack and placed in the PC. Again, it will so the return address is placed in the PC. So it will do the normal operation. So there are total you have 6 interrupt sources. So total 8051 has six interrupt sources. So highest priority is reset. This is timer 0 overflow, timer 1 overflow. So TF0, TF1. So we already discussed when timer is overflowed. So it will give an interrupt through the timer overflow flag bit TF0 and TF1. And these are the external interrupt 0 and external interrupt 1. And serial port interrupt we have seen in the serial transmission and reception for after transmitting 8 bits of data, it will raise an interrupt that is nothing but TI flag. TI flag becomes 1. After receiving interrupt, after receiving 8 bits of data, RA bit becomes what? 1. So that means reception and transmission of for serial serial character. This is only for one serial serial port event. You have both RA and TA. So these are the interrupt vectors. So this is the interrupt number, and this is interrupt vector address, and these are the description vector. Whatever the interrupts are there. Suppose like external interrupt 0 is there. External interrupt 0. This is the vector address 0003. And if it is a timer or counter, timer counter 0 is there 00 BH. And if it is external interrupt 1 0013. And a timer counter 1 interrupt 001B and serial port interrupt 0023. So these are the vector address for the 5 interrupts. So various registers associated with the use of interrupts are we already seen TCON. So in the TCON, higher nibbles are related to the timer operation, lower nibbles are related to interrupt as I told you. So those are the edge and type bits for external interrupt 0 and 1. And in the SCON, you have RA and TA interrupt flags for RS-232 serial communication, receive interrupt and transmit interrupt. And this one is a IE interrupt enable register. So in order to enable the interrupt, you have to set some values into this interrupt enable register. Interrupt priority register. So that means suppose when two interrupts are coming at a time. So microcontroller should decide which interrupt should serve first. So so that will be given by the interrupt priority. So depending on the interrupt priority, it will serve that interrupt. So IE register. So this is register is called interrupt enable register. So that is responsible for enabling, masking, disabling, unmasking or masking of interrupts. So to enable or disable the interrupt, this is interrupt enable register is used. So if you see interrupt enable, this is the format. So here EA is there, no? So this is global enable or disable. So in order to enable any of the interrupt, either external interrupt 0, external interrupt 1, timer interrupt 0 or 1, or serial interrupt, this should first this bit we should make as 1. So for enabling all the interrupts, global enable or disable. So in order to disable all the interrupts, this becomes 0. So that means when enable, this is nothing but enable access, we can call this one. So when it becomes 0, when you are getting any of the interrupt, so microcontroller will not serve that interrupt. Why? Because this bit becomes 0. And this is for reserved for additional interrupt hardware. And the ESC is nothing but to enable serial port interrupt. So for enable serial port interrupt, both TA and RA. ET1 is nothing but for enabling the timer 1 control bit, timer 1 interrupt, and EX1 is for enabling the external 1 interrupt, and ET0 is nothing but enabling timer 0 control bit, and EX0 is nothing but enable external 0 interrupt. Suppose like move IE comma 08 is there. So 08 is nothing but so what you are doing. So here if you see the example, first you move IE comma 08. So 8 means what? So 0. So this is 0, 0, 0, 0, 8. So this is 8. So in this, you are enabling which interrupt? External interrupt 1. So IE 08 means you are enabling external interrupt 1. Set B ET1, or you can use set B ET1. Set B. So these are bit addressable. So you can make the individual bit. So this individual bit as 1. So you can set this individual bit as 1. So external. So like this you can enable the any of the interrupt. And interrupt priority. So here external interrupt 0 has the highest priority, and interrupt 0 next interrupt timer interrupt 0, and external hardware interrupt 1, and timer interrupt 1, and so least priority is serial communication, either RI or TU. So these are the interrupt priority. So INT 0, timer 0, external interrupt 1, and timer 1 interrupt, and serial interrupt. These are reserved. So this is the format of the interrupt priority register. So when priority bit is equal to 1, so any of the priority bit is equal to 1, what happens? So that becomes highest priority. So when priority bit is equal to 0, that gives the lowest priority. So this is a program, write a C program that continuously gets a single bit of data at port 1.0. So you should get the single bit of data at port 1.0. And next you have to send it to port 1.0. So while simultaneously creating a square wave at 200 microseconds period on pin P2.5, so you have to use timer 0 to create a square wave. Assume the clock frequency extal is 11.08592 megahertz. So as I told you in the timers class, suppose they given the delay for the total time period. No? So you have to use timer 0 in auto reload mode for generating the clock pulse. So this is for the total period. You have to calculate the delay for the half period. So here what you are getting, 200 divided by 2 means you are getting 100 microseconds. 100 divided by, you have to divide with 1.085 microseconds. You are getting delay. Okay. So this delay, so what is the maximum value of TH0 in auto reload mode? FF. So FF, if you convert into hexadecimal, sorry, in decimal, you are getting 256. 256 minus 92, you are getting 164. So 164, if you convert into hexadecimal, you are getting A4. So this is the value you should load into TH0. Okay. So this is the header files, ash include h51.h, sbit, SW, P1.7. So SW you are initializing to port 1.7, and sbit IND you are initializing to port 1.0. SBit wave you are initializing to port 2.5. So you have to generate the delay, generate the clock pulse by using the timer 0. No, so this is the nothing but interrupt. Okay. So void timer 0 void. You have to give the interrupt number. So what is the interrupt number of timer 0? See, if you see the interrupt number. So for timer 0, what is the interrupt number? This is the interrupt number. See here. So for timer 0, 1 is the interrupt number. So in the programming, so you have to initialize that void timer 0, void timer 1. So this is the interrupt number, and you have to generate the square wave port 2.5 now. So that you initialize to wave. So wave equal to complement of wave. So that means every time you are toggling that pin, and this is the main program, void main, and you are making SW pin. So this is the input pin. No? So this is nothing but it is acting as switch. So when you are pressing that switch, uh, this port whatever we are, this is 1, this should be 1. This is 0, this should be 0. So you are making this switch as input. So how you are making this switch as input? SW equal to you are making as 1. And next T mod equal to what? 0 2. So 0 2 means you are using which timer? Timer 0. In which mode? Mode 2. Okay. So here mode 2 means T mod is you are using gate CT bar M1 M0. Gate CT bar M1 M0. So here anyway you are not using timer 1. So all 4 are 0. All 4 are 0. And next this is for timer 1. Timer 1 gate CT bar. And for timer 2, sorry, timer 0, for timer 0 gate bit is 0. So you are controlling by using software means, and your timer mode 0. In which mode? Mode 2. So mode 2 means what? 1 0. 1 0. So if you convert into hexadecimal, so what you are getting? So if you divide, so this is nothing but 0, and this is 2. So 0 to H, you have to load with what? T mod register. Timer mode register. Timer mode register. Okay. So next you have to load TH0 with A4. So that is you got this A4 now. So this A4 164 in hexadecimal is A4. So you have to load into TH0, and next you have to enable interrupt enable. So interrupt enable is 82. So that is 82 is nothing but if you see the 82 means you have to enable the timer 0. No? So if you see the interrupt enable register, so um, one second. Here if you see, so interrupt enable register is 82. So in hexadecimal, what is the value? This value you have to make it as 1. So this is a global enable or disable. So in order to enable any of the interrupt, you have to make this bit as 1, and remaining 80 means 1. 8 means what? 1 0 0. 2. 2 means 0 0 1 2. So ET0 is nothing but you are enabling timer 0 control bit. Okay. So that means here this is nothing but you convert into hexadecimal. This is the 8, and this is 82H. 82H you have to enable with what? Interrupt enable register. So here if you see, so here IEV is enabled with interrupt enable for timer 0, and while 1. So this is the infinite loop. So send the switch to the LED. So when you are pressing switch, the LED should on. The LED is connected to this port 1.0, and switch is connected to port 1.7. So I will show this program. So first I will explain you the assembly language program, and next we will go for the C program. So I created the project. I'm opening the project. I'm opening the project. So here I created the project for the interrupts. See here. So here what you should do, we'll use timer 0 in mode 2, that is auto reload mode. You got this 92 value now. So 92 value have to convert it to hexadecimal. So this is the org lgem main. So main means it will go to the main function. So this is the ISR address. So org What is the ISR address? org00bh. So this is the ISR address of timer 0 interrupt vector. So this is the timer 0 ISR address of timer 0. So that's why this is org. So it should start from 00bh. And every time you are complementing port 2.1. So that means you have to generate the square wave at port 2.1. So I have given in the question. And after completing this subroutine, you have RETA. Written interrupt means it will come to the main program. So this is the starting of the main program org0030h. So mode T mod comma 02. So that means you are operating timer 0 in mode 2, auto reload mode. So that is timer 0 in mode 2. And you are making port 0 as input port. So that means, so make port 0 as input port means, so you are moving FF. So that port 0 is acting as input port. So here move TH0 with -92 or TH0 with you can use A4. So you can use 0 A4. 0 A4 that is equal to -92. And you initialize interrupt enable register that is 82. So I equal to 10000010. So this is to enable the timer 0 interrupt. You have to start the timer. So for starting the timer, you have to set bit TR0. So set bit TR0 means you are starting the timer. So whatever the data present in port 0, you are moving into accumulator. From the accumulator, you are moving into port 1. And SJump back means it will be repeated. So this program I'm running. I'm running. Move TH0 comma H. You got 0 errors and 0 1 is no. Go to debug session. Start or stop debug session. So here what you should do. So how many ports you are using? The program port 1, port 0 and port 1 and port 2 you are using. So go to peripherals, IO ports, port 0 and port 1 and port 2. Go to peripherals. Which timer you are using? Timer 0. So this is timer 0. So timer 0 in which mode? Auto reload. Okay. So auto reload mode. So next, go to view, logic analyzer. So setup. So port 2.0. Port 2.0. Enter. Close. So run the program. Sorry. Go to view, logic analyzer. Setup. Port 2.1. Here port 2.1 is blinking. No? So enter. Close. Run the program. Every time you are getting the clock signal at port 2.1, suppose like so whatever the pins I'm giving to port 0, so the pins are coming to the port 1. See here. So here this pin. See here. Here pins are there, no? So port pins. So here port pins I'm making this as one. These bits are making. So whatever the pins I'm giving to port 0. you are getting to port 1 here. So like this, you can run the program. You can generate parallelly. You are generating the square wave at port 2.1, and whatever the pins you are clicking, so you are sending to port 0. That port values you are getting into port 1. So like that you can generate. So you can stop the program and come out of the debug session. And here project, I'm opening the project. So here this is interrupt. Interrupt programming is the interrupt programming. C programming I explained, you know. So that program I written. So this program I'm compiling. So not needed. So you're getting 0 errors and 0 warnings. So go to debug session. Okay. See here. So go to ports. So, so in the program, what you should do here. So SW is so whatever the value SW is there, it will should come to uh, this IND pin. I'm running the program. So port 1.5, port 1.0, port 1.0 is there. Okay, some modifications are there in this program. Okay, so now you understood the concept of this interrupt programming. Next, I will go for the uh, basic arithmetic instructions. So arithmetic instructions, as you know, so arithmetic instructions. Here, if you see, here you are moving 25 to 25 to A and 12 to B. So you are adding A and B. So 5 plus 2 is how much? 7. 2 plus 1, 3. 37 you will come in, it will come into A. And whatever the A value you are moving into the address location 40H. And next, every time A value will change. No? Again, you are initializing A. 25 minus 12, how much? Sub means what? Subtraction. So 25 minus 12, so what you are getting? So this is 3 and 1. 1 3 will come into A. So that A value are moving into 41. And so again you are initializing A with 25. So mul AB. So mul AB means what? So 25 into 1 2. So 25 into 1 2 means what you are getting? 25 into 1 2. So here if you see, so 25 into 1 2, if you multiply, you are getting, suppose in calc if I see, so here should go to programmers, so 25 into 1 2. So I want in hexadecimal. So 12C. 12C means 2C will be saved in A and 01 will be saved in B. So similarly, So you are moving A and B values will change. No? So A value you are moving into 42 and B value you are moving into the direct address 43H. And next you are initializing A with 25 and B with 1, 2. So A with 25 and B with 1, 2 and dividing. So div AB means 25 divided by 1, 1, 2 means you are getting the quotient as what 1 and remainder as 12, 2, sir, 24 you are getting and remainder as 1. So quotient will be saved in A, remainder will be saved in B. And whatever the quotient in A, you are moving into the direct address 44 and remainder you are moving into the direct address 45 and moving A with 25, you are incrementing A. So A becomes 26 that you are moving into the direct address 46 and decrementing A. So decrementing A or again you can initialize A with 25. So now you are decrementing A means A becomes 24. So that you are moving into 47, direct address 47. So I'm compiling this code. I got 0 errors and 0 warnings. Go to debug session. Okay. So I think remove this breakpoint. I should remove this breakpoint. Okay. Disable the. So here I want to see the step by step. So these are the registers by default. These are the registers present in the bank 0. By default, these are the registers. We have 4 banks, no, bank 0, bank 1, bank 2, bank 3. So these are the registers by default in bank 0. So this is accumulated and this is B registered and this is a stack pointer. Stack pointer maximum value is 07 and this is a data pointer. This is a 16-bit register and this is the program counter. This is also 16-bit register. And next these are the timing parameters and this is PHW. PHW parity. F1 is F1 and F0 are used for future purpose. Overflow register select RS. RS means for selecting a particular bank you are using RS. RS0 and RS1 and this is a auxiliary carry and carry flag. So step by step I am doing. So here in order to see the memory window, what you should do, you have to go and here memory window is there, memory watch window will be there. No? So here I want to see the values in the address location 40H. No, that will comes in the address location 40H. So enter. So initially suppose D colon 00. So that will be 00. I want to see from 40H. So D colon 40H means the address will start from D colon 0x40. So this is the direct address values. So step by step I am seeing the values. So see here. So first A value you got 25. Next B value 12. 25 plus 12. So 37. So A you got in 37. So add A comma B. So 27. So every time this is the pointer related to the program counter. So this instruction is executed. So always this instruction will be pointed to the next instruction, next instruction. Okay. So what is the next instruction? Whatever the A value is there, you are moving into the direct address 40H. Here. So the here you got 37. And next one more time. You are initializing A with 25H. Next you have to do subtraction, sub. So sub A comma B means what? 25 minus 12, you are getting 13. 13 you are getting into accumulator. And next that whatever the 13 value is there, you got into the location 41H. And next step, you are moving A with 25H. Next, what you should do, you have to do multiply, mul AB. So 25 into 12. Okay, 25 into 12. Sorry, this is 0 to 9A. Our result is 0 to 9A. So 0 to 9A. So 9A should come into 42H and 02 should be coming to 43H. Here 9A is coming into 42H and 02 is coming into 43H. Here this is 43H. And next initializing A with 25H. See, initializing A with 43 is over, no? So here here, this instruction. And next b with 1 2, b with 1 2. Next what you should do, you have to divide. So when you divide, you are getting 12 to us are 24, no? So that means quotient you are getting into A, remainder is 1. So remainder you are getting into B. So after that, quotient you have to save in 44 and remainder you have to save in 45. Here, quotient. So quotient you got into this location. First quotient you got into this memory location, and this is the remainder. And next what you should do, you have to initialize the A with 25H and you have to increment. So it becomes 26. After making 26, that value you have to move into next address location. So this you got into 26. And next you have to initialize A with 25. And next you have to decrement the given value. So you have to decrement. So decrement. So it becomes 24. So 24 you got into this location. So like this means with this program we implemented all the arithmetic instructions. Those are addition, add, subtract, multiply, divide, and increment and decrement. So these are all the instructions we did by using this programming. You can come out of the debug session. So this is the programming. Okay, thank you.